Alright, let's check the map. So it wants me to go back to... Okay, back to the islands, right. We've got to go back to the islands.
The way this map works is so Metroid.
I didn't know this was a Metroid. I've never played a Metroid game, but like
I genuinely
like how
might...
it develops.
I genuinely might... Right, so for Metroid Prime, which is generally considered the best one, imagine this, but with absolutely no NPCs or character interaction. It's just you on an alien planet.
Oh.
You're given a thing at the beginning, and then you are doing all of this stuff of exploring these areas, gaining upgrades so that you explore more, but there's... You have bosses and stuff like that, but you don't have any characters that you interact with in the entire game other than the final boss. So it focuses a lot more. Its atmospheric nature works really well because it's this massive sense of like isolation on an alien planet.
All right, okay.
That works really well. I can see what people are going for, but it annoys me when people basically compare Metroid to Halo. They're similar kind of things. Each franchise is, like armored super soldier
on an alien planet.
Yeah, but Halo is really military in a way that like.
Metroid, you're a bounty hunter, right?
Yeah, bounty hunter is a weird thing because that's a concept that basically only exists in basically America and until recently Japan, which is why it's in media so much. It's not a thing, really.
Okay.
Because Japan had samurai style bounty hunters until relatively recently, and America still has states where bounty hunting is a thing. But
we've all seen Dog the Bounty Hunter. Doctor.
Samus is literally the only Samus's bounty hunter thing is just an excuse to get her to places to make plot happen. It's just the MacGuffin.
There we go. So I want to go to intensive treatment, which is up and to the right, basically. Gracious.
Yeah, I'll have to try it with Metroid Prime somehow. I think you might quite enjoy it.
Yeah.
If you enjoy this, it's conceptually very similar. The only thing with it is it physically, controls-wise, it handles really weirdly.
I mean, I think part of the big reason I enjoy this is because Batman.
Yes.
And I love Batman, from the tips of his little pointy ears all the way to the bottoms of his big stomping boots.
Yeah. I'll try it at some point, though, I think.
Oh, I think these guys are going to fuck with me.
Well, they're blue skeletons. They're not spooky.
But... Yeah, ambush! Look at that. Called it.
And now they'll be red skeletons.
I think only red if they've got, firearms.
Ah, fair. I mean, either way, it's not like a group of people even this size with bat-bats are a threat. Oh, did you tase him with his own taser?
I did.
Jesus Christ.
That's no less than he deserved.
Hoisted by his own taser, as the phrase is.
Oh,
right in the mouth.
Dick. And snappy snap.
Pinchy pinch.
Yeah, the music going dun 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 is very Nolan's trilogy.
I mean, Nolan's trilogy itself draws inspiration from stuff like the animated series.
Yeah, so. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's a whole canon and stuff like that. Yeah, and but that chorus bit going is very animated series.
Yeah.
Whoever did the music on this is very good. I need to find out who it was.
I think it might have been Danny Elfman who did the animated series, but I don't know if this is him.
No, this isn't Danny Elfman, definitely.
Batman, every route into intensive treatment is locked, and there's nothing I can do to bypass the security.
There was a sniper
Pardon me.
on the roof.
Yeah, Elfman definitely did parts of...
he did the
main
Batman films.
Yeah, he did the Burton films, and I think he did parts of the animated series music as well.
He was involved.
I'm confident he did some of the animated series stuff. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
I think he did the theme tune.
Yeah, like the blah, 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 blah. Because that's really Danny Elfman, that brass line.
Yeah.
That's basically exactly what the Sam Raimi Spider-Man sounds like. It's
you know
really
what, right?
similar.
Is that also Danny Elfman?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Do you know what, right? I'm always curious. Was I always spooky? Or was the media I consumed as a child, was it that made me spooky? And a part of me is like, do you know what? I love Tim Burton is something I shared with my dad. But I remember my dad showing me Nightmare Before Christmas, and this was 5 years after, a family friend had bought me a Count Duckula doll because I was so obsessed with watching Count Duckula.
Count Duckula wasn't.
It's
Burton,
spooky.
was it?
No,
it's spooky,
it's nothing to do with Burton, but it's spooky.
I had a Duckula DVD, or not DVD, VHS actually when I was a kid.
Which one was it?
That's my only exposure. I couldn't tell you. I was a very young child.
But do you have any idea what happened in the story?
No.
Okay.
Brief interlude. Composer of this, the main thing he's famous for is God of War.
Oh, Oh, that's cool.
This is the only Batman stuff he's ever done. So
Should
he's
have
not
got
really
Trent
done.
Reznor to do this soundtrack. That would have been more in keeping.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, for me, I have no idea if I was always just inherently a spooky person, and I just was attracted to this media, or if something about Count Duckula I loved, and that set me down this like spooky path. I often wonder because one of my nieces is getting more and more spooky, but like
She's always
she's
been
low key
spooky.
spooky.
And she's,
No, I remember when
she's
she was.
also tiny you.
I remember when she was terrified of
I've got to stop
like
before the entire
Night Before Christmas, but now she loves it. I remember when she was terrified of Return to Oz, which in her defense is fucking
Yeah,
terrifying.
why wouldn't you be terrified of Return to Oz? Frankly, that's a completely rational response to
And
that
like
film.
one of her favourite films when she was young was Flushed Away, which is not spooky at all,
It's a fucking great film, though.
but it is an excellent film.
Is
So
that the one where England make it to the World Cup final?
I think that's involved in it, yeah.
Right, total
It's,
fantasy.
it's Rats, voiced by not Hugo Weaving. What's he called? Wolverine.
Hugh
Hugh
Jackman.
Jackman, that was it, yeah.
I suppose
Australian beginning with H, and 4 letters.
Hugh,
Oh, actually, Hugo Weaving might be Kiwi.
so I don't think he's Australian. I
think he's Kiwi.
I think he's one of these weird transnational sort of.
Actually, yeah, I have a weird feeling he's like South African or
He's
something
born
baffling.
I
in
think-
like Zimbabwe, but raised in somewhere or other that was
Yeah.
not Zimbabwe.
I'm pretty sure he was
or-
raised in Australia, like Hugo Weaving.
If
I
only-
think you might just be thinking that because of what's the thing?
I mean,
Priscilla Queen in the Desert.
I'm busy playing this video game, but if only I had 2 fact checkers.
I'm looking now. I
He's
can't type
fact-checking.
correctly. He was born in Nigeria, Hugo Weaving.
But he was raised in Australia, yeah?
Yes, yeah,
I knew he was
Oh,
Australian.
there we go.
and he has Australian citizenship, but
Yeah.
he was born in British Nigeria,
I don't know how to get to my goal here.
which is a bit yeah. Well, that's
Blast your way through the metal.
I can't. It's not destructible.
Everything's destructible if
when,
you kick
when,
it hard
when
enough.
they just say, like, as a brief summary, his notable roles include Agent Smith in The Matrix, Elrond in The Lord of the Rings, the title character in V for Vendetta, and Red Skull in the MCU. That's pretty fucking good. It's
And
like
how does that not include Mitzi from Priscilla Queen in the Desert?
Have you not heard the?
That's the thing. Is probably that it says that's the thing that won him his first major nomination. And that was kind of his breakthrough thing.
Have you not
was
heard
Priscilla.
the fan conundrum where it's like you've got to pick one actor and then like he goes up against the other person's champion or her champion.
In all the roles they've ever been.
Yeah,
I think Hugo Weaving would be a pretty fucking strong candidate.
Ian
Yeah.
McKellen's got to be a good one as well. Gandalf and Magneto. That's got to be a strong.
Yeah, but he's
call.
also been in a lot of like normal shit.
McKellen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's played a bunch of kings and things. Like,
Weirdly, I can't actually think of that much stuff he's been in. He was very briefly in Stardust, but
McKellen?
yeah.
Really? I think he's a big
He
theatre
just
guy.
mostly stage stuff, I think.
Yeah, I think that's by choice.
Yeah.
Famously, like, he told Patrick Stewart not to take the role of Captain Picard because he thought it would ruin his career. Like, he'd lose all credibility as an actor.
He was. Oh, right. No, yeah. Everything that's mentioned on McKellen's Wikipedia is all like stage stuff. So he played, hooking this back around to Amadeus. McKellen's
Amadeus.
apparently really famous for playing you one that F. Murray Abraham plays in Amadeus. Was McKellen on the stage? Just Salieri.
Oh, yeah. So this bit. So just to keep turning that difficulty curve up and up and up, they've now put proximity detonators on all the gargoyles.
Oh.
So that if I jump to a gargoyle, I can be there, but it will explode if I stay there for any length of time.
That's kind of obnoxious.
So they
It
gotta keep
is,
moving.
actually. I hate this bit.
I love the fact that you've just got that vent hanging off the edge and no one's noticed.
I'm not sure I could have confidently said that Ian McKellen was Northern.
Really?
He just feels very London to me.
Nah.
I think it's just like...
He's from Lancashire. He's from Burnley and Wigan. and
Patrick
Waltham.
Stewart is from somewhere North Midlandsy.
Yeah.
And his brother works on the trains, and I swear to God, I heard, and I was on a train and I heard his brother do an announcement.
Make it so.
Make it so, number one.
I swear I was there, I was like, oh my God, this guy sounds just like Patrick Stewart, it's so good. And then got to my destination, whatever. And at some point later, I found out his brother works on the trains, and I'm like, I'm convinced. It doesn't need to be true, but I am convinced.
I've seen a really good meme that just around every so often of Patrick Stewart where, like, I think it's from his Twitter feed where he's like, the only thing that can change the world is rich old white dudes, and it's him standing outside like a demonstration somewhere or other with a placard.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's like, yeah, bring it on. I was like, well, I have my misgivings about Sir Patrick as a person. I think he's a wonderful actor, but like, yeah, that's just power to him.
What are your misgivings about him as a person?
He's said and weighed in on Scottish independence more than once, and given the fact that like he's not a politician, nor is he particularly qualified in that department, he should keep his trap shut. But,
I disagree with that, but
yes, I thought you might.
yeah,
He's a big Labour guy actually. So,
yeah, I know, that's why I like him.
yeah, I mean, power to him for that, I suppose. I'm not being shitty to him because he's a Labour man.
Yeah, no, you're right. The only politicians who can speak out about independence should be the ones who are pro-independence. You're right.
No, I don't think anyone should. Like, well, politicians should speak about it, but like JK weighs in on things like this, and like you've seen what that's done with JK. 'Cause she is not an expert, nor is Patrick Stewart an expert in politics.
Yeah, I guess it's the issue when you're that level of famous. People will ask you about political stuff, and you kind of have to answer them.
Yeah, that is true, and I do accept that. But
And I guess it's an interesting one because obviously in a lot of ways, like he's a massive symbol for a lot of progressives. Is Patrick Stewart?
I was going to say.
I always forget.
he's not gay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I always forget that he's straight because I always assume him and McKellen are a couple, which
Nah.
they're not.
No.
Yay for friendship,
But
which
McKellen
is just about friendship.
But McKellen is gay, isn't?
Yes.
Famously,
Very.
yeah.
As gay as the day is long.
Yeah. But,
On a
Yay
scale
for
from naught to
friendships.
Graham Norton, he's up there.
I mean, he exceeds Graham Norton in some
I
ways.
disagree. Though.
Campness versus gayness.
Fair. He's pretty camp as well.
There's a really good
Sorry, Kat.
there's a really good podcast series I recommend to everybody, basically, but particularly you two. Like where it's just called David Tennant in Conversation with, and then obviously the name of his guest, and he does a really good one with McKellen.
I'm
Right.
sorry, but I have so much better things to do with my time than listening to David Tennant.
Why don't you like David Tennant?
What's wrong with David Tennant?
Him in the Harry Potter film. I cannot get past that acting.
It's a very small role.
He's there for like 5 seconds.
And he does the lizard mouth for that entire time. It's disturbing. No.
Fair enough, Sprite. I think he's a talented actor, and like he's a very
I
good
don't know. I don't like
conversationalist.
him in the theatre stuff that I've watched.
See,
He's
I have
okay
always
as
liked
the
that,
Doctor,
yeah.
but everything else I've seen him in, I don't like him in Jessica Jones either.
Are you kidding me?
I think he acts very poorly in that.
I
I think we disagree on that.
I disagree too, but
Yeah, I'm clearly wrong here because no one thinks that about him.
Oh, that could
But
be
I
a good
do.
one. David Tennant in Conversation with Billy Piper.
Is that like recent?
Well, he stopped making these in 2020, but yes. It's one of the latest ones.
I think
Judi
we're-
Dench, George Takei.
no.
Oh no.
I think we're goose.
Ugh, James Corden, get away from me.
I hate Corden.
He's the worst. Gordon Brown! Wow.
Yeah, I've listened to that one. Brown is
Yeah.
an
Oh,
absolute.
and Jodie Whittaker.
Brown is a terrible interview subject. He's just boring.
He is,
He's a profoundly dull man.
but he's a great politician because of that. Because he's ultimately, he rolls a 20 on intelligence and a fucking nat 1 on charisma. Unfortunately, does Gordon.
Just so we're clear, he rolls 4 or 5 on charisma.
Yeah, it's still not great.
Um,
It's the most on-brand thing that I think the Stag has ever done. When he was completely pissed on his own stag do, and he couldn't basically see shit. The Stag managed to go on his phone and booked tickets to see Gordon Brown.
Oh yeah.
what?
Gordon
Why?
Brown was giving a talk in Edinburgh about some political stuff, and the Stag drunkenly booked tickets for Gordon Brown.
Yeah.
And apparently he went, and it was really good.
It's very on brand for the Stag.
Yeah, for him to do that when he's like the rest of us have other things that we get drunk and have no memory of doing, but he booked tickets to see former Prime Minister Gordon Brown give a speech at a local football grounds in somewhere near Brecon City.
See, I've been to Gordon Brown's old school with my job, and apparently he was deputy head boy, and as someone who doesn't actually like Gordon Brown that much, it's pleasing to me to know that even then he was only ever second best.
I've got a lot of time for Gordon Brown. I think
You know, there's a lot of bullying allegations and stuff about
yes.
it.
I mean, you could, yeah. There are for Alex Salmon. There are for basically anyone in
Yeah.
power. I think it becomes hard to point fingers at that point. I think Gordon Brown did a lot more than most people recognise for stopping 2008 being fucking horrific in this country particularly.
I mean, it still wasn't a great year, but yeah, fair.
But he's vilified because of his role as seen as being anti-independence.
I mean, I honestly don't know his stance on independence.
Not very. He's still a Labour politician, put it that way. But I think Gordon Brown was an unfortunate case of he was a really good chancellor and then he ended up being prime minister, a job he never wanted and no one ever wanted him in, basically.
It's still strange that happened.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas actually, you know what, he was better being he sits behind a desk doing chancellor stuff.
And making sure that shit
a perfect
works.
role for a deeply boring man.
He is a deeply boring man. But, like, you gotta consider that he was Blair adjacent for all of the Blair stuff.
Yes,
like,
and that's problematic.
Yeah. All of the war criminality. I mean, not that Brown was necessarily complicit in all of that, but nevertheless, not great.
And war crimes on our Blair was also a twat, obviously.
Sir Tony Blair, lest we forget.
Sir twat, you're right. They've killed that juggalo.
they do.
They really look like juggalos.
Disturbingly like juggalos. Anyway, our brief side tangent into like British college.
Not that brief, but there we go.
Yeah, that was definitely gonna be on the chart.
Our not so brief side tangent into.
Oh, was Harley back?
No, it's just the interview tape that I picked up for her.
Extreme
Oh.
personalities. You can't
I think this is Harley's tapes are actually pretty good. Again, like they try and get, like show off the voice cast, which I like.
Yeah.
Also, smash that without touching a gargoyle. Look at me go.
Yeah, you actually
all
did really
so
well.
proud of you.
No, genuinely, that whole I was watching while I was talking about Gordon Brown. That whole section was pretty good, flawless.
I was
almost.
distracted by thinking I should pour myself a shot and thinking no I shouldn't, but
No,
also
you-
thinking
you
I really
absolute-
should.
You absolutely
Right.
should not.
All I'm going to say is what you told me, Sprite, which I'm going to echo back to you, which is shots are fine. Don't have a double. You mad lad. I've added you mad lad for
Yeah.
this. but,
I think my
but
exact
it was
phrase
there.
was, make me wait 20 minutes before having a shot because otherwise I will spew everywhere.
Sprite,
Comma, you mad lad.
Sprite, if you won't listen to the Doctor, listen to Batman. Sprite, don't have a shot. Gotham City will fall. You're the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs.
Gotham deserves singles.
To be drunk. There you go.
Sorry, was that Batman advocating for a half shot?
Oh, you could do it Harvey Dent style and flip a coin.
Do we have a coin handy?
Physical currency, you say?
I think there's one over there.
What kind of Luddite are you?
No, I've still got the Tammy and the T-Rex coins.
Where are they?
I should add ask.
Oh, I know what Tammy the T-Rex is.
Yeah, so
Do you know why we have coins for it?
we watched that at this year's Highlander.
That sounds amazing.
And a friend of mine bought it off Amazon Prime for £2 off my account, which was logged in, and left when he went the next morning £2 in cash to pay me back for the rental of Tammy and the T-Rex for 24 hours from Prime.
Isn't there a massive... Isn't George Clooney in Tammy and the T-Rex? Or something... There's a massive star that's in
Well, there's what's her name from Christmas Jones from that Bond film.
Denise Richards.
Yeah, she's the main person who's in it. I'm pretty sure it's not George Clooney.
No,
but-
there's a massive name
I'm
in Tammy
looking,
and the T-Rex.
I'm looking.
It's a huge name.
Right, you gonna flip a coin, Sprite, or what? How are you doing this?
No coins were forthcoming, so I made an executive decision.
To not have a double.
You live your best life, Sprite.
Yep.
Bard.
Ching.
You're as wise as Master Yoda and as powerful as Master Windu.
That's a good expression for shotting to. I might steal that.
Yeah. Except then you would be quoting Anakin Skywalker, which is so many different kinds of problematic. But there we go. Paul Walker, that's it. He's the most famous person in it, perhaps.
Is he? Okay.
Oh,
Certainly-
Paul.
Yeah.
He died young.
He did, yeah.
He did, he was in a car crash. Was he in a car crash or did he just die and he was in Fast and Furious films?
I think he
Good
may
question.
I think he may have been in
I think he
a
may have
car crash.
actually been in a
Research
car
the man.
crash.
But that feels quite ironic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Since it collects
I'll always
transports
think of
from
him as
Crocs
being in the
later.
skulls.
Paul William Walker IV was his actual name. Which is,
Wow.
Yeah, he was in a car crash, yeah. Oh my god, I came across my favourite name ever during like the American elections recently. This guy is like state treasurer from Missouri or something stupid like that.
Right.
But I shit you not, the guy's name is Young Boozer the Third.
No.
Yes.
So
No.
he's called Young Boozer.
You must be kidding me.
Nope. That's
I'm
his
gonna
name.
look up his Wikipedia page to prove a point.
Young Boozer.
Young Boozer.
No. Jesus Christ. The third.
There he is. Young Boozer.
That's a man who exists. I thought that sort of very elaborate.
State Treasurer of Alabama is what he is. But he's Young Jacob Boozer the Third.
I had to backtrack here, Fuchsia, by the way. I do apologise. Like, I got turned around.
Don't apologise, we're having amazing bands.
So not only is he called Young Boozer, but his dad and granddad both called Young Boozer, and both like, do you know what name I want for my son? Young Boozer. I see this baby, he's clearly a massive lad who loves the sesh, so he will also be called Young Boozer.
Carry on my family line.
Carry on the sesh for us.
I think I need to find the... Where's the damn thing?